Now, once the temperature starts rising above 60 degrees Celsius, remove the beaker. Allow some of the drops of the liquid coming out to be collected in a other beaker till the temperature crosses 80 degrees Celsius and then stop heating. Because now what happens is whatever liquid is left behind in the round bottom flask is pure water. Now, the next method, students, which we are going to follow today or which we are going to learn today is fractional distillation. Now, I call fractional distillation as an advanced version of distillation because in fractional distillation, you can separate three or more components or liquid components from its mixture if they have a difference of at least 20 degrees Celsius among their boiling point. Now, let's just take an example of our daily life. In our daily life, we use petrol, diesel, kerosene, and we all know that India imports a larger quantity of these oils from the other countries. When you purchase these oils, they come in a combined form that is called as the crude oil. That means crude oil contains petrol, diesel, kerosene, CNG, and LPG. An organization named as ONGC purchases this crude oil, and by the method of fractional distillation, they separate the components like petrol, diesel, and kerosene. Now, what they do is here you can see in the diagram. They take a round bottom flask. They close the neck of the round bottom flask with a rubber cork, in which fractionating column is attached with a thermometer so that we can note the temperature. This fractionating column is attached to a condenser which has a water outlet and water inlet, as we have done in the distillation part. Here in the condenser, the vapors will cool by the process of condensation. Now, if suppose here you have three liquids. First one is petrol, having boiling point of 30 degrees Celsius. Diesel. This is just an example for us to understand. 50 degrees Celsius. And kerosene, boiling point 80 degrees Celsius. We are just assuming. Now, what happens is once I start heating the crude oil, once the temperature reaches 30 degrees Celsius, the vapors of petrol will start forming. And these vapors will pass through the fractionating column and then pass through the condenser and starts converting into the liquid state. Because condenser will cool the vapors and the vapors will start converting into its liquid state. Now, once the temperature starts rising above 30 degrees Celsius, the temperature will not rise unless and until the entire component petrol is converted into the vapors. Once the entire petrol gets converted into vapors, temperature will start rising. So you can remove the container or the uh, receiver from here and replace it with a new one. The temperature now will reach 80 degrees, 50 degrees Celsius, and the diesel vapors will start forming, which will again pass through the fractionating column, then through the condenser, and by the process of condensation, diesel will start getting collected in the next container. Now, till all the diesel vapors are separated, the temperature will remain constant at 50 degrees Celsius. Once all the diesel is consumed from your round bottom flask, temperature will again start rising. At that time, you can remove the container and replace it with a new one. Let three or four drops fall down, and then you start collecting the vapors of kerosene. The temperature will again become constant at 80 degrees Celsius. Either if the over component is only kerosene, you can stop heating. If you find that there may be some impurity, you can keep on heating it. Once the temperature reaches 80 degrees Celsius, the vapors of kerosene will pass through the fractionating column and then through condenser and then start condensing and get collected in the beaker here. If there's an impurity, the temperature will again rise. If there is no impurity present, the temperature will remain constant till all the vapors of kerosenes are formed. In this way, here we have seen, students, that we have separated three liquids which are completely miscible in each other. Again, what does miscible mean? Miscible means when two liquids are completely mixed with one another and cannot be seen separately. It is called as miscible. Here we are using the method of fractional distillation. Now, our next method is separating funnel. Now, separating funnel is used for those liquids which are insoluble or immiscible in each other. Whatever immiscible, like when you mix oil and water will not mix with each other. Oil will be at the top and water will be at the bottom. Now, if suppose by mistake you brought some kerosene oil from the shop and by mistake some water has been added to it, how can you separate it? You will use a separating funnel. This here is called a separating funnel. This has a stopcock. All right. Now, what you will do is through this inlet, you will add the mixture of water and kerosene in the separating funnel. Allow it to stand for some time. Clamp it on a stand so that the solution remains undisturbed. After 3 or 4 minutes, what you will observe is water will settle down at the bottom as it has higher density and kerosene will start floating above. Now, here again, as I said, we are using the quantity, physical quantity as density. Difference in the density of two liquids. Kerosene is less dense, so it will be at the top. Water is more denser as compared to kerosene, so it will settle down. Now, slowly open the stopcock here. Let water trickle down. Once this layer of kerosene reaches the stopcock, close the stopcock, remove the beaker, replace the new beaker now. Collect some of the liquid in that beaker by opening the stopcock. That is an impurity because that may contain a mixture of kerosene and water, because exactly at the juncture or junction of water and kerosene there may be some miscibility. Now close the stopcock. Whatever solution is left behind in your separating funnel is kerosene oil. So students, we have done some methods of separation here. In the next class, I'm going to take the remaining things into consideration, remaining methods of separation, and we will be doing the exercise question answers. I have already sent you the question answers of lesson 1. You have to write all the questions and answers in the notebook. You do not have to write true and false, fill in the blanks. In short, objective types of questions in your notebook. You have to only write give reasons, answer the following questions in your notebook, definitions in your notebook. And once we meet again in the school physically, I'm going to correct your notebooks on the same day when the school reopens. So, students, stay safe, keep on learning, help your parents, and enjoy your day. Thank you and have a great day.